All right, we are live and good to go for the first show of 2026. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly BrYangle Report. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us this week. I hope everybody had a good break. I hope you had a great New Year and a great Christmas and the whole thing. We missed two shows. One was on Christmas Eve, one was New Year's Eve. So big days. I hope everybody is safe and still doing really well. I see Ron Gray has already said hello. Hello to you, sir. Good to see you. Michael Drukarsh, hello. Happy New Year. All right. As a reminder, this is a live show brought to you from Henry's in Newmarket, Ontario. My name is Brian Weiss. This is the weekly BrYangle Report because I have to throw my name in everything, apparently. This is what I do. Jim Canning, hello. Smith Thomas James, happy 2026 to you too. Thank you so much. All right. What we're talking about today is a culmination of a survey that I sent out to all of the Henry stores across Canada. I got some replies back saying what they think Henry's employees think of as the top products of 2025, and I've narrowed it down so we can talk about it on today's show. And I've got a few little bits of insight to go as we go through that as well. This is not a manufacturer awards night. There's no prizes for first place camera, or it's not about that. This is not a YouTuber influencer list of things. This is more of a boots on the floor reality impression of what employees are recommending. Things like product that solved real problems or earned repeat recommendations. I mean, that's a big thing for me. If I have a lot of people liking the product, I will keep talking about it, right? It survived returns, it survived firmware quirks, or all the learning curves that people have had over the holiday season. And this is, again, why we recommend them. These are the things that make our staff say, yeah, okay, this is a solid product to talk about. We will recommend it. So I hope you all enjoy this. And of course, if you have questions, please, please, please post them in the chat. That's the reason I do this live. Also, seeing as this is the first show of 2026, and I'll be having a meeting with the head office very shortly about the show, if we have to change days, if we have to change times, I'd love to get some feedback from people. Brian's giving me a thumbs down, a double thumbs down on changing the time. But apparently, the algorithms are what they are, and people are watching during certain times of day. So if it's easier for you at another time, please post that in the chat as well. I'd love to hear what you all have to think about it. Okay. Thank you to the Henry's employees who took the time to fill out the survey, and to those who didn't, tisk tisk, shame on you. Next year, we'll get you back doing it again. You never know. Okay, so a product, if it earned this list, or if it made this list, it earned it. It earned its place. So keep your ears and eyes open for what I'm going to talk about today. I've got what the Henry's employees chose, but I've got a few of my own insights as well that I want to bring into it, because there's a few things, a few products that I find are similar to what was recommended that may also be a good fit for people. Don't forget that if you don't catch the show live, you can watch it anytime. It's on the Henry's YouTube channel. You can go back and watch it. If it's not there, it'll be somewhere else. Bottom line is, it's recorded. So if you can't watch live, please still leave comments. Let us know what you think of the show. It'd be amazing to hear what you think. All right. And don't forget to, these are only opinions of our employees. This is not fact, and we're not trying to say you have to do this or that. So if you feel an opposite emotion to what we're talking about, again, let us know. No anger, it's all good. It's just gear, guys, and we love talking about it. Okay, let's start off our conversation today with the Did You Know? And for those of you who don't remember what that is, it's a digital know-how, or hey, did you know something? A little photo tip that you should probably know, or a little thought process that might help you along your way. Today's Did You Know is why recommendations matter more than specs, which I think is fitting for this conversation. Specs are important. When I first started selling cameras, I would go and I would do spreadsheets and I would do charts and find out every little difference and so on. I don't even think like that anymore. It's about where's the benefit and what am I doing with the tool that matters, right? So recommendations from employees who have gone through these conversations with customers for years, I don't know, I'd give that a little more weight than what somebody on internet said, or all these different opinions. We have customers coming in and looking at us sideways like, why would you recommend this when I read this? The G7X is the best camera in the world, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is we have to deal with those things. So A recommendation from a Henry's employee is always a better bet than anything you'll read on an Amazon or an opinion site that's out there. So please, don't just let the specs sell the camera. Sometimes they're deceiving. And don't forget the trust. Trust is important, right? Coming into a store and dealing with somebody that you value their opinion or they have proven themselves to you in the past, I think that's very important. Trust sells the second or future accessories more than anything else. So if you can buy a camera, it's great, but it's trust that's going to bring you back into a store. And that's what we have. What, 10, 15 cameras that you bought over the years? Years, right? Brian's saying he's bought like 15 cameras from us, which apparently we're not doing our job well enough if he keeps having to buy new cameras, but that's okay. Yeah, because employee recommendations, they're built on returns, they're built on support calls, they're built on real world frustrations. Bought a camera, why isn't it working? Come in and get help type of thing. And they're also based on long-term satisfaction. And when I say long-term, I've been here 19 years. Steve's been here 6 or 7 years. Joseph's been here 17 years. Like, employees in our store have been here a really long time, so you're getting a really good long-term opinion. And don't forget to cap off the did you know, the best gear isn't always the newest. It's the one people stop arguing about. Right? I mean, you hear arguments about cameras all the time. When they're not arguing about something, you know it's a good one. And that's what we're going to talk about today, but only until after I talk about what's new and not what's used, because we have no used. We got one used shipment over the holidays, and most of it's been shipped out to customers and other stores by now, so we really don't have a whole lot of used stuff in the store. But hopefully we're getting more. Keep checking back in all the time. Check henrys.com for the used stock across the company. We can always get it from other locations. If you see something that you like, give us a call, let us know. Now, some sad news on the what's new front. I'm going to start off with talking about these things. I don't know if you remembered my last show that I did talk about. I mentioned that Pro Knows Photo, Jared Polin, came out and said that next year, hard drives are going to be up in price. My friends, 3 days ago, this was $200 cheaper. $200 cheaper. This guy here was about $70 or $80 cheaper. All the SanDisk hard drives, all the memory cards have gone up. And that's exactly what I was worried would happen. So thank you, Fro, for the warning. For anybody who watched the show and actually came and bought their hard drives, good on you. We didn't, we forgot, and now we'll end up having to pay more too. So this is the state of affairs these days. AI is buying up all the hard drive storage space, and we are left having to pay the bill. Yay. Okay, something else. I just want to do a quick screen share here. I'm going to not worry about you seeing me. And I'm just going to pull this up for a minute. This was a very quiet thing that just happened. In fact, we don't know anything about this lens in our store. We don't have it on our website yet. We're still waiting to have it posted there. But apparently, Nikon has just released a 24-105 f4 to 7.1 Z lens. Now, this is a really cool offering for people that want a good walk-around lens. They don't want to carry too much weight because it weighs a scant 12.4 ounces. For a 24-105, that's like 350 grams, like nothing. It has a minimum focus distance of just 7.9 inches, wide angle. But if you zoom in all the way, it still focuses less than a foot away. So here we have a 105 millimeter lens that you can zoom into 105, get within a foot of something, and have such shallow depth of field. This is now a portrait lens, even though it's a 7.1 aperture. So this is something I'm really looking forward to. Very lightweight, good general purpose, a perfect pairing for like a Z5 II or a Z6 III kind of lens if you just want a good walk around. And it's really competing against Canon's RF version of the same thing. But I don't have a price on it yet. We're still waiting for any kind of announcement. The only other real interesting thing that I have to talk about for what's new is this. There have been two really major camera releases within November and December, and that was the Canon R6 Mark III and the Sony a7 IV. Both debuted, both very similar. One has a partially stacked sensor, one has a BSI. They're very, very similar in numbers, but apparently the Sony's debut was a lot better. It came out with some higher numbers. There were more pre-orders, and this is according to the Japanese market. You can see B, CN, and Rs. ratings and so on is where I get these numbers from Petapixel's website. But it's interesting that these two major cameras came out. Everybody was talking about the Canon R6 III, but the Sony is edged. And according to my numbers and the specs and all the details from my survey that I sent out, Sony had a pretty good year this year. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. And that's pretty much it for the what's new. There we go. Come back to me. All right, guys, let's get back into our conversation. Let's talk about the results of the survey, because there's really very little use to talk about, so we're going to move past that. Now, why this is important, I kind of touched on it at the beginning of the conversation. Oh, before I do this, I want to see if anybody's chatting. But the reason it's important is because when you are buying something and you want a good point, a source of a resource, point of resource, that works. If you want a good opinion, and then coming into a store like ours, you're going to get that. Going online, you don't always get opinions based on factual information. You're getting opinions based on sponsorship or, you know, kickbacks, or who knows why else people might recommend it. They might be an affiliate for a company and getting a little bit of a pushback for recommending products. So it's hard to tell where to get that source. Here at Henry's, we're not allowed to be sponsored. I can't wear my Nikon hat here to work. I can't do that. That's not the point. We're here to sell you what's right for you. So you're going to get a better answer. So that's why it's really important to have a show like this today, where you're hearing from employees and not just you know, people getting paid. Michael Drukarsh, I recommend the BrYangle Report. It's a solid product. Mike, I'll pay you later for that. Thank you, bud. Doug Boyce is watching. Hello to you. Awesome. Cool. And don't forget, live show, guys. Chime in anytime. I'll keep kicking back here to see if anybody has anything to say. Okay, so I'm going to go over all the top categories, some of which I have here in my zone, in the Nook, and some of which I'll just talk about because that's fine. The first thing I want to talk about is the top full-frame camera rated by Henry's employees. Now, the camera that won 33% of the votes was the Sony a7 IV. I mentioned before, Sony really did own quite a few of the categories from the show. The reason why the a7 IV did so well is A, it's not super expensive. It's a really solid full-frame camera, great resolution, really good focusing, a lot of improvements on ergonomics over the previous generation camera. If you're in video mode, your menu's video. If you're in photo mode, your menu's photo. So they're very straightforward in operation, which is a huge improvement over the version 3. Now the version 5 is out, and the reason why it's probably not at the top of the list is availability. We haven't had very many of them to sell. So a7 IV is definitely the hot ticket for the year, 33% of the votes. Now for APS-C, again, a crop sensor, the slightly smaller sensor, interchangeable lens cameras, or fixed lens cameras, the top camera won by 55.6%, much higher than I expected for a Fuji, the X100 This little Fuji rangefinder X100 style camera, very retro feeling. It's a little more boxy. It's very classic looking. You've got direct controls of your shutter speed and your aperture on your lens. So it's a very film-like experience using it. I can see why it did well. Now, if it were a thing for this compact point-and-shoot size category, I'd probably say the Canon G7X Mark III would be the go-to for everybody, but we literally have 6 people a day asking for that thing since 2020, and we haven't seen one since. So let's talk about the X100 instead. Now, moving on, for the vlogger or creator, the top vlogger or creator camera was the DJI Pocket. Now again, guys, this is 66.7% of the votes. Ridiculous amount of people chose this, and it's funny because that's what I use as well. I keep mine in a little Peter McKinnon pouch. I've talked about this pouch before. This is the tech pouch from Peter, from Nomadic. And you can carry everything in here. The cool thing about the Pocket, it comes with the wireless microphone, same microphone I'm using for the show. And this little pouch lets you just hold everything in here really, really well. And then you have the DJI Pocket, which is this guy right here, the battery pack and the little stand. And they're so convenient to use. You just pop it together, flip the screen, turn it on. It'll be actually able to turn on just by flipping the screen if you have turned it on already. I haven't used this one for a minute. I've used this as a webcam for the show. I've used it on my trips to the Maritimes. I've used it as behind the scenes recording for my reels and things like that I do. And what's really great about it is you can flip this position, and now it's recording in 16:9 for reels and all these social media things that you want to do. Awesome little tool. Stabilized, best accessory ever. They're usually about $920 for the full bundle with the wireless microphone, with the little wide angle lens piece that just magnets to the front. If I can do that, there we go. So that just magnets to the front of that. Redirect that center. So straightforward. And then you can have it flip around and see me, just like that. And it's got face tracking, so I can literally set it on a counter. And as I move, it's going to follow me and move around with me. It's a pretty wild little tool, super advanced for as small as it is, and I recommend it highly. This was the top choice by a resounding 66.7% of our Henry's employees. So something seriously cool to talk about. Let's just slide that back away and move on. Before I do, let's just see if there's any comments here. Dun, 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 2 calls for G7X since we went live. Okay, Steve, really? That's nuts. It doesn't surprise me though. The G7X, everybody asks for that camera just because of TikTok videos. You know, it's a good little camera. It's got like a 1-inch sensor and so on, good lens, but you know, the replacement's out. It's the V1. We have it in the store, but nobody asks for that one. Okay, moving forward, let's go into the top zoom lens. Now, there was a 3-way tie for the top zoom lens. 2 of them were the same lenses from different manufacturers. The 2470 f2.8 industry standard, Sony's G Master lens, and Canon's RF 2.8 lens. Both phenomenal lenses, both, you know, expensive, but 2.8 apertures. The third choice was Sony's 16-35 GM G Master, which is just the wider version of the same thing. So f2.8 glass, people love it. Henry's employees use it and swear by it, and that's why they won for the top zoom lens of 2025. Now, as far as prime lenses go, I mean, I think the most popular prime in general is the Nifty 50, but for Henry's employees, they rated the Sony f1.2 version as their top pick. Could you imagine the blur and the juicy bouquet in the background with that lens? Perfect for Christmas time with those little twinkly lights in the back. So a 50mm f1.2 lens, very functional for portrait, very functional for street photography, all kinds of low light action, parties. It's just it's a beast for low light. A 1.2 aperture is like the pupils of its eye are just dilated. They've just got the drops in their eyes from the eye doctor, and they're walking around with needing sunglasses. It's so bright. So awesome choice. Now, top telephoto lens. Back to those 2.8 lenses. This time it was the Sony 70-200 G Master f2.8. Again, not an inexpensive lens, but great for portrait, great for weddings, great for wildlife with a teleconverter, great for hockey, indoor action. One of those general lenses that everybody eventually owns something like. This particular one is the Sony. All right, any other comments? Nothing new? Cool, we'll move on. Memory cards, top memory cards, second year in a row, again by 55.6% of the votes. Last year it was like 60%, was the SanDisk brand in general. Anything from SanDisk is reliable, reputable, includes image recovery software. So if you happen to delete your pictures by accident, or a different memory card that you had, a Kodak or something fails, you can actually recover all of your photos because it includes image recovery software, which is pretty awesome. So those SanDisk memory cards. Now, granted, all of those cards just went up in price. So I apologize for folks that came in before Christmas and saw a card for $25 and now it's selling for $35. This is the reality of the world we're living in right now, but we still do highly recommend the SanDisk cards. All right. Moving along, this is the number 9 category, LED lights. And again, 3-way tie for these. 3 different lights. The one I'm using under here, the Aperture MC Pro. Magnets from underneath, it magnets from above, It's so versatile, and it's totally controllable by the app on my phone, so I can do whatever I need to, change the color, change the patterns with it. Very similar to the standard Aperture MC, which is just a less expensive version, less power output, and only magnets on the back, not the front. Also, the two lights, one of which I'm actually using for the show, the Amaran 200 watt light. This is the 200X light bicolor, or the 200D and the 300. Both of those were options. The 200, we have a D up here. This is the daylight one I'm using. The X was actually the rated one that's bicolor, or the 300. And they're just different wattages, a 200 watt or a 300 watt LED light. I'm using it for our show. We have a huge softbox attached to it because these both have that standard Bowens or S mount modifier connection. So any modifier, any softbox, octabox, anything like that from Bowens, S mount is completely compatible with these lights. And they're nice and powerful, 200 watts, 300 watts. I mean, this light I have here is probably running at about 40 to 50% power. I could jack it up a lot more, but it would blast everything behind me and you wouldn't get any color that I'm trying to pull into the show. So that's why it is what it is. Now, as far as strobes go, studio strobes, I actually just bought two AD400s from Godox. That's what I would have thought people would have picked. A little more power. I always recommend starting off with more power first. But what people picked was this guy, the AD200 Pro. It's a very compact flash. It's a 200 watt second head. The Pro 2 is a better color control, more consistency from the front of a shoot to the end of a shoot. And there are tons of accessories you can get for these. First accessory comes with it. It's a round head. Second accessory you can get is this kit, which has all kinds of diffusers, barn doors, snoots, gels, all these different kind of color accessories that you can attach to the front of this lens, this flash. And if you really want to get creative, you can get two of them, put them in this adapter, and you can run two flashes, two 200 watt flashes as a single 400 watt head, which you can mount a softbox to. And this is the adapter for that. So there's tons and tons of accessories. And I think that's one reason why the AD200 was so popular. It's compact. It's not ridiculously expensive. It gives you a lot of flexibility and control off camera. And I'm starting to see people mount it to, you know, on the 70 to 200 lens or those the real long lenses with the foot. They put the foot on top and they mount the flash right to the foot. Nice and solid support for a flash like this. So really, really good choice was the AD200 Pro as the top strobe. Now on-camera flash is different, but same. Still Godox. The V100, a 100 watt second flash that goes on camera, or built-in radio frequency, of course, that you can run off camera. But it's all touchscreen and it's all really, really nice layout. Much faster recycle time. It's got a little fill light on the front of it. So like a modeling light, LED kind of power. This is the Nikon version. They come in Canon, Fuji, different brands as well, Sony. But the V100 was rated the top actual flash. I'm going to throw something else out at you though, because as cool as this flash is, and this guy is selling for about $500 or so, they have this new little guy. This is the IT32. Really compact. For people that are buying a camera like the V1 Canon, replacing the G7X that doesn't have a built-in flash, this is just a tiny little flash that goes on the hot shoe, but it does more than that. The foot is magnet. So you pull this off, you get the transmitter piece, which is the part that actually connects to the camera. So this one here is the X5S Sony. This is the piece that slides onto your camera. And then the flash just magnets to it. So now you can be shooting an event with your tiny little flash here and think, oh, that would be really cool if I took this flash and popped it off and set it on the counter. And now I'm remotely controlling that flash with this tiny little transmitter. Not only that, but this flash here works on its own off of any Godox transmitter. So the transmitters that I use to shoot my wrestling, this can become part of my kit. It's pretty awesome. Yes? 15-foot wide. Yeah. This would definitely cover a 15 by 15 to 20 by 20 room, no problem. Great for parties, great for gatherings, super compact. Take it, put it in your pocket when you're not using it. And this is about $110. The transmitter is about another 30. You're looking about 140 bucks or so for an off-camera flash. That's a 32 flash guide number, and it's fun. It's a fun little flash to use. And this magnet is actually pretty good. It doesn't just pop right out. It's in there. So you can use it on a modifier and so on and so forth. Excellent little system. This is something I just thought I'd mention. We just got them in, probably not mentioned by Henry's employees or anything. It certainly wasn't on the survey that I sent out, so I just thought I'd mention it. Any comments here? Mr. Drew Karsh, love my Nikon. Not hearing a lot of Nikon being mentioned. Why? Price point. No, actually, because Nikon didn't really come out with a whole lot in 2025. It was 2024 when the Z6 III came out. 2025 was the Z5 II, which you will hear about shortly, because that's in another little thing I want to talk about. But you're right, Nikon doesn't have a lot in the APS-C that was brought out in the year 2025, so that's why you don't hear a lot about it, unfortunately. Nice little flash. I know, it's a very cool little thing. Okay, moving onward. The next category was the best tripod. And tripods are funky, you know, people don't fully understand where, why, or how. They don't want to take the time to set up a tripod. They're just, everybody's thinking go, 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 go. Guys, seriously, a tripod helps you in so many ways. Night photography, waterfall photography, portrait photography, where you want the same perspective for every photo from one to the next. People are just stepping in. You want to go click and have that same perspective. Anytime that you want to do a time lapse, set your camera on a tripod in the corner of a room, time lapse the entire evening. There's so many benefits to having a tripod. I just want people to think about it a little bit more than just, ugh, I don't want to bother with it.
Put your light on.
What's that?
Put your light on.
Put your light, use it as a light stand, exactly. My friend Blake, actually, he does that a lot. He'll go and do a portrait, put the light up high on a nice tripod. It's a great, great tool for that. Brian, you don't have to brag about your 4 tripods.
I'm 80 years old.
I'm 80 years old. I've got 4 tripods, he says. Okay, so as far as Henry's was concerned, with 33% of the votes, this one right here, the Manfrotto 190X, won out over all of them. Solid tripod, guys. It's got solid torsional rigidity. It doesn't flex and bend. It goes to a proper height for a human, not a little person that's super, super short. Although it goes short too. I mean, it's fine for that. But for somebody like me, a little taller, Brian, anybody that works here, having a little bit more height is helpful. And you don't always want the center post all the way up. Having it down so it's a little more solid is helpful. Okay, let's just turn off my phone from ringing here. There we go. I don't know why I didn't put that on vibrate. But anyway, what were you saying? Well, that's the thing. The head isn't part of this conversation. We're just talking about the sticks as the tripod. This particular kit comes with a video head, a 500, pretty fluid video head. But you can get it with a ball head where you can go side to side. You can get the 3-way position head like I'm using here, where you can go this way, all different ways. So the head you choose would dictate if you're going horizontal or not. But for this particular one here, not really, no. This one you'd have to have like an L bracket to...
Take the post and turn it upside down.
You can go upside down and shoot from above. Yep, this little piece here comes off, and then you can just pull the post out, put it in from underneath, and mount it underneath for sure. Yeah. And again, these are the benefits that people don't really talk about a lot with tripods. There's a lot of different uses for it, not just waterfalls. All right, that is the top tripod. Action cameras. I don't know if anybody out there has bought an action cam recently. There are many of them. GoPros, Insta360s, DJIs. There's so many different brands, Safari, and different cheaper brands that are out there as well. The top one picked by Henry's, though, employees, was the DJI Action 5. This little guy here looks like a GoPro, but it's so advanced. The video quality, the stabilization, the aspect ratios, the lens quality, the housing, it's really, really popular. And this one, I'm not surprised at all that people pick this. As an extra side note, one thing that's really cool about some of these action cams is that you can replace lenses on the Insta360. You can actually remove the lens from either side and replace those with lens covers that if one gets scratched, it's a little easier to change. This one doesn't really work that way, but the screen is massive on the back. The functionality is incredible. The image quality is incredible. And this is what a lot of people are using for skiing and outdoor action sports. So let's put that right here, back with that fancy light from the Aperture MC Pro. Okay, microphones. Just so happens I'm using the microphone that everybody has recommended. That is the DJI Mic 3. It closes right as I do it. There's these little wireless microphones. You get 2 of them. You get the kit. They'll work on pretty much any camera. I've got them plugged into my camera. They'll work on smartphones with the Apple connection or with USB-C, all included in the package. These are super popular, and it's understandable. I use them for the show because they work. They turn on. This is a charging station. They stay charged from show to show without me having to recharge them, because this is a battery that you put them in when you're done, and it keeps them all charged up nicely for you. Right? You see the lights just go on there, so recognize that that's in there, and it's automatically starting to charge it. Very handy microphones, excellent quality, and they don't usually fail, which is a plus. Now this is one I'm going to give a countering opinion on. This is the best camera bag. Now, we here at Newmarket are partial to a certain customer slash friend slash employee slash creator named Peter McKinnon. Pete's a friend of mine. I will give his products top pick over anything, just because when he puts his name on something, it's going to be good. But what was picked by the Henry's employees was the Peak Design version of this. So it's the messenger bag from Peak Design. It's a sling style. It's supposed to be very compact, well-built stuff. Peak Design is all lifetime guarantee. This guy here is selling for, let's see here, $180. Not redonkulously expensive, but it's a lifetime guaranteed bag, so it's going to be good. You can open it up this much here to put your camera in and out. And this is why I'm going to talk about the Peter McKinnon bag. So this was rated by Henry's with 33%. Stay. The Peter bag, first of all, has a much flatter base. So you can just set her down and not worry if it's going to tip over. This one here, I'm a little bit worried about that, as you see. Right? So if you're just going to set it and be okay with it staying there, Pete's bag is a little bit better for that. When you open it, it opens really wide, and it has this little elastic band that you latch around this little tab, and it keeps that from flapping open. So you can leave it, and you can leave it open, and then just undo this tag, grab your stuff, and put the tag back without worrying about everything falling out. Lifetime guarantee as well. It's got spots for pretty much any accessory you need in there. Lots of space, lots of accessories, pockets on the inside. So again, an option for folks looking for a really good messenger bag. And it's a little bit more money, about $230, $250 for these bags. But I'm going to support Pete any day because he's awesome. All right. As you can see, I've also got his case right here that I use. Moving on to the overall best product recommended by Henry's of 2025. Now this, me, no, not really. The overall best product. Now this was not an overwhelming, this was an open-ended question. I just said, what do you think is the best? So I got a lot of different answers. Really not 2 of them were the same. So I'm going to go over what Henry's picked as the best product that they think overall for anybody in 2025. Number 1, the Fuji X100 VI. This thing was just a hot ticket from day 1 in 2025. Everybody wanted it. We couldn't get them for the longest time. And, you know, that was a bit of a frustration for us here in Newmarket. But realistically, awesome camera. Number 2, Canon R5 II. Huge game changer for Canon, bringing out this R5 II with the stacked sensor and the really, really fast read times and the AI focusing technology that it uses. Full frame, huge pixel count camera, awesome camera, and even like Daniel bought one. So, oh, by the way, next week is a dangle show. I'll explain more about that in a minute.
We're gonna dangle?
We're gonna dangle a little bit. Okay, The Sony FX3, Brian just cowered away. I'll explain. The Sony FX3. Now, this is a professional cinema style camera. Very popular for the cinema video users at Henry's, and that's why that one was picked. SanDisk memory cards. I'm going to go there all day, every day. That's all I use. There's a lot of great cards out there. The Sony Tough cards, Angel Bird are good cards. Is everything okay, Steve? Yeah. Cool. And so there's a lot of good cards, but Henry's employees picked the SanDisk as their choice. And of course, DJI Osmo Pocket. Not the case, but the Pocket. I think this is the best product. Personally, I think this is the best product of the year. This is what I picked when I answered the survey. I absolutely love it. It's so easy to use, and the editing is so easy. It's all one touch. You open up the app, you choose your files, you say go, and it makes a cool video for you. So music, the whole thing. It's really wild. Technology, man. Steve and I, when we first started in video, it was like $750 for a character generator that you typed in, and it would like scroll words across the screen, like basic programming from the back in the day. And now we have like literally just open my phone and do a whole edit, post it online, and the whole world. It's ridiculous. I love it. Yeah, we're a long way away from these things. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okay, any comments? Let's go back here and have a quick look. Nice little flash. Yes, same thing. When you are that good, you don't need a lot of new. Yeah. I think that's very true. When you're good in what you do, you don't need a lot of new stuff. And that's why gear isn't the be all and end all. It's about how you use it more than anything. All right. If we look online at what the industry is choosing, other people, the other stuff out there, I also have a little list of what the world is picking as the best online. And I'm going to go through it very quickly. Fuji X100 is number one, version 6. Number 2, though, going back to Mr. Drukarsh, the Z5 II was what the world picked as the first, or the price point full frame camera. Overall full frame pick was the Z6 III. Overall stacked sensor, the Z8. So Nikon does very well, and I love Nikon. I'm just going by what Henry's employees were talking about. Osmo Action 5 Pro action camera was the top pick. Vlogging interchangeable lens camera was the Canon R50V. Inexpensive, around $1,000. Good interchangeable lens camera built for video. The best vlogging compact camera, again, the Pocket 3. And the best all-around mirrorless camera was the Nikon Z50 Mark II. So Nikon does great, Mike. We all know that. And again, it's just like was mentioned in our comments. It's not all about the gear. It's how you use it. So I hope everybody gets out there and has a great time with the gear that they have. Any questions, come in. Let us help you through all your little frustrations and debacles that you might go through in the world of photography. That's why we love working here. So that was pretty much it for the show today. I'm going to go quickly just to thank all the employees that gave their opinions on this survey. Steve, thank you to you and to Aurora and to all the people in my store who did this survey. Lots of people participated, and I really appreciate the turnout for it. Don't forget, Henry's from coast to coast is out to help people out. So if you're not in Newmarket, go to our Vancouver store, go to our Halifax store, go to our different stores in Lime Ridge or Mississauga. There's some really, really great people in our stores. Ottawa, Bank Street, Ryan Murphy is amazing. Sumit in Scarborough. Stellar employees. Peter in Mississauga. Seriously, guys, reach out to your local Henry's store if you need help with photography. We are here for you. That's the only reason why we still have a store, right? All right, coming up next week, the Dangle Show. I'm stoked about it. Daniel's going to be on with me. We're going to be talking about focal length, lens focal length, compression, wides, telephotos, macros, primes, all these really cool benefits that you can get from different lenses, help you think differently. Having Daniel on, I can't wait, because anytime Daniel speaks, he teaches things. Like, the guy's just awesome. So very, very excited about that. It's going to be back to those fundamentals of focal length. It's going to be teaching you how to choose your lenses and how to think before you pick your choices of glass. Don't forget, the current photo challenge is still ongoing. Brian, thank you for your submission. Appreciate it. For Ghost in the Machine. I haven't looked at it yet. Steve has, apparently. I haven't seen it yet. I don't look until I'm doing the show. But for all of those who are still thinking about what photo they want to make, again, the challenge Ghost in the Machine. We're going to be looking at those photos. Please have them in by February 3rd. And that Wednesday is when we're going to be doing the review. Also, the Shop More, Get More coupons that you got. Oh my, lots of snow just fell down out there. Squirrel. The Shop More, Get More coupons that you got if you had purchased in December or November, I think it was, like the whole period before Christmas. They are coming up due January 9th to the 29th. So if you have your coupon, don't forget to come in and redeem it toward a product or something that you want to get, or buy the extended warranty on your product you bought with your coupon amount. It's super handy. All right, guys, that's it for me. Running a little bit late as always. 2026 should not be about chasing gear, everybody. It's about using it better. And if that's what we can do for you this year, come in and let us help you do that. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to spend with me today. Any questions? Let's see here. Michael Drugars, woohoo! Yeah, world. I know, the world picks Nikon. It's all good, man. Gear is just gear. Use it the best you can. Have a great time. Enjoy your 2026. I will see you all very, very soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye, everybody.